Welcome to first grade. I'm so glad that we're back in school, and I'm going to go over some things with you. And parents, I want you to know that this letter that I'm going over with you, this information will be sent home in a red folder to you as well. But we're just going to talk about some things that are important for first grade. And the first thing being their folders. They have 3 folders. This yellow classwork folder, you will not see. It stays here at school. They put their work in it, and it's inside. It has complete, incomplete. This folder, though, stays in their desk cubby all the time. Okay? This red folder is what we call our test folder. It'll come home once a week, and it has graded papers in there. And you just sign it and return it, but you'll only see that one once a week with graded papers. And this is the one that's really important. This is the blue folder. It's called our take-home folder. And at the top, I have your child's name, and I put take home and return. So that means this folder, they take it home every day, and then they bring it back every day. This one's very important. When they come into school in the mornings and they go to the packing room to hang up their backpacks and their coats and things, lunch boxes, they will get this folder out of their book bag and bring it and put it up in a black basket near my desk. I'll help the children with this, but that's very important. It comes to school every day. When there's like math homework, it'll be in here. One side says return to school. So if I have math homework in here, they will complete it, put it back in the pocket, and bring it back to school. This pocket says keep it home. So anything that you find in this pocket, papers that I've checked, or notes or something, you keep those papers at home. And this side return to school. But that's our take-home folder, the blue one. Okay, in first grade they do a little bit more homework than they did in kindergarten. It says you will find homework and test assignments on the first grade homepage on Sycamore. So you'll need to go to the Sycamore and to see that on the first grade homepage. Reading homework starts after a couple weeks of school. It doesn't start immediately. And they have reading homework on Mondays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays. The reading assignment will be written on a bookmark that's located in the reading book. And you'll just sign it and return it. Okay, math. Math homework, which they didn't have in kindergarten, they had math homework this year. It's also assigned the same days as the reading homework, except sometimes you might have a math homework on a Friday, but not very often. These math worksheets will be in their take-home folders, the blue folder, and will need to be returned the following day to receive 100. If they do the math homework, bring it back the next day, it's a 100. A grade of 90 is given if it's a day late, and then after that it's a 0, unless there's some good reason that they couldn't return it, and just let me know. Math homework is averaged each quarter, and it counts as a test grade. And it's very important to help your children with their math homework, or maybe see if they did it correctly, and then you can help them if they seem to not understand it. Bible, the only Bible grade the students receive is from their memory verses. And the grade is based on a 100 scale. So if, say, there's 25 words, each word would be 4 points each for their grade. And the Bible verses, I'm thinking in kindergarten last year, Miss Judy sent them home in a little notebook or something, but I don't. In the red folder I sent home to you, you'll see all the first grade memory verses that we have all year. And you need to keep that handy, maybe keep the folder handy with this information, and so you can see what they are. But you'll have to look on Sycamore to see which one it is. We do go in order, but sometimes it might not be. It might be a review of, like say Ephesians 1 and 2, and then the next week verse 3, but then probably the next week would be all 3 verses. So it's not in order according to the test exactly, but anyway, I just want you to have all these verses available. And if you're using your Bible for these, we do use the King James Version. Okay. Spelling. First grade has spelling tests this year too. But spelling doesn't start till about 3 weeks or so after school starts. You'll find spelling list in your child's take-home folder on Friday, in the blue folder. It'll be in here. And I send those home every Friday so that if you want to start over the weekend to study, they can do that. And the spelling tests that they take are part of their phonics test. It's not a separate test. So the phonics test that they take include some of their spelling words, and it's all one grade. So spelling's not a separate grade, but it's included in phonics. All right, our graded subjects that we have in first grade are phonics test. Spelling's included in that. They have math quizzes that we take in class, and of course math test. Bible test, that's the memory verse only, and reading comprehension quizzes, but that starts second semester, not first semester. They also receive a V, S, or N. V is very good, S is satisfactory, N is needs improvement for oral reading and handwriting. First grade also has these subjects, but they're not graded. We do language, science the first semester, and history the second semester. These are enjoyable subjects, but they are not graded. Also in first grade, they have specials that they get to go to outside the classroom. On Mondays and Wednesdays, they have PE. On Tuesdays, they go to the library. On Thursdays, they have music and art. And on Fridays, they get to go to iPad Lab. Okay. Lunch. Lunch is from 11 to 11:30. School lunches and milk are charged. Ice cream is available for 50 cents, but it cannot be charged. So first graders can take their ice cream money in their lunch box or their pocket, give it to me after they eat a good lunch. I don't collect it in the mornings, but they take it with them to lunch. And then after they eat their lunch, a good lunch, they'll bring it to me, and then they'll be allowed to get ice cream. We'd appreciate it if you didn't send sodas or candy for lunch. And school policy is that only third grade and up may use the microwave. So please do not send anything that needs to be warmed. And also, when your child comes into school in the mornings, it would be great if they knew if they needed a school lunch or if they need just a milk, because I call out their names, and if they need something, they'll say, I need a school lunch, or I need a milk. Milk is included with the school lunch, but if say they brought their lunch but they didn't have anything to drink, they would need to say, I need a milk. And if they have everything and they don't need anything, they'll just say, no ma'am, when I call out their name. Okay. I want to go over this with you, and I'll go over this with the children, but this is how we have our manage our classroom this year. I'm starting out with the space thing, and I have over here, if you notice, green says ready to launch. I haven't put the students' names on here yet, but each student will have their name on a clothespin. And during the day, if they're being obedient and doing what they're supposed to do, they can clip up, like go to blue, landed on the moon, and say this student was just being excellent behavior, and they did something else good or special. They could go up to Space Explorer. Also, maybe it's been going really well, but say the student was talking or something when he or she shouldn't be, and so they would clip down. So they go from this one down. Now, if they're green and it's been a bad day or some things are not doing too well, they would clip down to yellow, launch delayed. And of course, if we were still having disobedience problems, they would go down to alien encounter. And at the bottom it says back to Earth. So the key is, at the end of the day, the children need to be on green or higher if they can at the end of the day. The highest is you're a star, but we want to be green or higher. Like I said, they can clip up or clip down depending on their behavior and things that they're doing. And at the end of each day, they'll have a chart, a little chart like this. This one says Gavin Barnes, and they're hanging under the whiteboard. And okay, at the end of the day, if they're on green or higher, they'll get a sticker to go in that first square. So we're starting out with star stickers. Same thing the next day, and then the next, and so on. If they were below green, they just wouldn't get a sticker that day, okay? When we get the first row completed, that's 5 stickers, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, then they will get some candy or a sticker or maybe a small prize. And we continue to do that when they get 5 more, which will be when they get 10, same thing. Keep going, 15, same thing. But when they complete their whole chart, they get a prize from the treasure chest. So we can use some prizes if you don't mind sending some in. And of course, once a chart is completed, they'll get another chart. It may not look like this, it may be a different one, but that's what we're going to be doing this year. All right. And the last page is talks a little bit about Sycamore. If you would, please check the first grade homepage every week, at least once a week, for newsletters that I put on there. And if you're not sure how to get to the first grade homepage, as long as, I think this is correct still, but you click on your child's picture in the upper right-hand corner. If your child this is their first year at Sheets, there's a childlike picture of them up there. And then you'll click on the schedule tab, and you'll see a red schoolhouse. Click on the red schoolhouse, and that brings you to the first grade homepage. And that's where you'll see my newsletter. You can find the Bible verses in the document tab, and other things on the first grade homepage. I wanted to share a couple other things. Okay. Each child will get 2 of these. So this says Daniel, and these are for car line. So when you drive through to pick up your child, this needs to be on the passenger side of the window, and you've got 2, and if you need an extra, you can let the office know, but 1 for each vehicle. And it needs to be so that Miss Chitty can see their name, and so she'll know that she can call out Daniel's name. And in the cafeteria, they'll hear Daniel's name being called, and he'll be sent to his car. And it's very important to have these to pick up your child. If you don't, I believe you are required to check in at the office. So these are important. And if you've got a grandparent that's going to pick up a child, then you want to make sure they have one of these. Okay. And last of all, you received a COVID waiver form that needs to be turned in on Monday. It's very important, Monday. Also, because of the virus, there are some changes for this at the moment. Birthdays, nothing can be brought in for birthdays right now because of the virus. Parents are not allowed to come to the cafeteria and eat with the children or bring anything. Hopefully that'll change soon. And also, we're not allowed to have a field trip this fall. But hopefully that'll change too, and that we can have one, at least one or two, later in the year. I've got a little note here, and I'll just read it to you, and it says, I'm excited to be your child's teacher, and I'm looking forward to seeing what God has in store for us this year. Your family and your child's requests will be in my prayers this school year. Please pray that God will use me to be the teacher He would have me to be. Thank you for allowing me to have a part in the life of your precious child. So I look forward to seeing you all Friday when you bring the supplies and boys and girls I